Jeroen Sangers, thanks for talking to me. So, if you could tell me, what you do and and how does Nozbe fit into your lifestyle?
Okay. Basically, what I do is helping other people and organizations to be more productive. That's my main goal, and I do that in three ways. I give training in companies in Spain. That's one. I have a remote consulting service, so I basically Skype with people and talk with them about 1 hour a week to see what are the problems with productivity and see how we can help them. And recently, I started adding also online training to this for to be able to help even more people with becoming a little bit more productive. So those are basically the three services that I have. I do this from home, but basically, if I'm not traveling, of course, but basically I work from home, which is from one way very nice, other way a little bit difficult, as you also probably know. No, that's a little bit about what I do. Nozbe, to be honest, is helping me in a way that it keeps me organized. That's it. I use it as my task manager off and off, because as a productivity consultant, I'm always trying out things. So I have to admit that I'm not always using Nozbe. Simply because it's in my interest to get to know all the tools very well. So I can look at solutions if I want to tell a customer and advise him to say, okay, you have to use Nozbe. I think I also have to know all the ins and outs, so I cannot just say, okay, here's a tool that can help you, but also explain him how he can adapt the tool to his way of life and his way of working. And so for me, that's very important. If I recommend a tool, that I know all the ins and outs. And therefore, the only way to doing this is not just creating an account and digging around in it, but actually using it for a while. And I've been doing that with Nozbe, but I also have to do that with other tools, because in my opinion, the perfect tool doesn't exist. There are many different tools. People have different requirements, so I usually have some people want more complex tools, some people want more simple tools. Depends a little bit on the needs of every customer, so I have to learn them. In my case, of course, I can choose, but I switch once in a while. In Nozbe, what I really like, what really helps me with it is the tight integration of all the other services. No? So it's not just a task manager for me. It's also since it's linked with Dropbox and Evernote, it's also I can manage documentation, I can manage checklist. It's a lot more than a task manager, and that's helping me a lot. It's saving me a lot of time in that way.
Yeah, and I totally appreciate that you, as a consultant for productivity, as you said, there is no silver bullet for everyone. You cannot say use this tool because this is the only one that will help you get things done. But isn't that your experience that very often what you fight with is what I call a non-consumption? So like people are not using any tool because they're afraid to use a tool. They just use pen and paper and it doesn't work. And then you have, or they use email to communicate and collaborate. Isn't that so that many often you have to fight the non-consumption of that they don't use anything?
Yes. You're right. Most people that really are in the category of productivity disasters, no, the one where. No, if I look at my customers, there are two. Both of them always say that they are a disaster, no. But there's one who are actually really productive people, but they want to achieve more. So that's one category. I think they're already amongst the top 10% of productive people. They already have everything arranged. They're very high performance. But since they are so high performance, they're always looking for more. That's why they contact me. That's one category. They say I'm unproductive because they have this feeling that they can do more. And then there's the other group who are actually unproductive. Many times even don't realize it because they simply don't know there's another way and are just mingling along using whatever they came into the mind that when they started their first job at 18 years and have been using that for 20 years and even don't know that there's something else possible. No? Even they don't even know the existence of task managers. And then you're right. Then of course there's a lot of work to do. With those people, usually I try to search if there's already something that they're familiar with, because with these people I always first want to work on the habits instead of complicating the life with a new tool. I think basically I go for the quick wins in that case, no, and no, and in a later stadium, then when they're ready to look out for a tool, when they have accepted that they need it, because first of all I have to convince them that they need a task manager. No, that's already one issue. So once I've convinced them that, and they already are in the habit of using something, anything, it doesn't matter. Then together with the customer, I can start looking for an optimal solution and for his case. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And is there in Nozbe? I mean, you've seen many task managers. You know all the best applications there. So, is there anything, for example, in Nozbe that you like? Is there any feature that you really? You said about integrations, but is there anything else that you would say that it's something that you really particularly like? A feature that you, or maybe a small feature something that you love?
What I really like about it, that without even realizing, once you start using Nozbe, you're being educated because of how things are labeled, because it's talked about project and what are the default labels when you start using Nozbe. So it's already pushing you a little bit in a certain direction. It's not just like the default reminders app on your Mac on iOS, or in the default task list of Outlook, which is completely unorganized and basically it's like an empty sheet, but it's so empty that it scares off a little bit. You don't know, okay, how can I organize myself? And Nozbe, without obliging you, it's hinting strongly in another. For example, because of the default category labels that already present, you can always delete them and create your new one, but it already gives you a good starting point. And especially for new users, I've seen that it helps really a lot.